Hey, so video number 2 on this channel. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do my favorite artist, Frank Turner. I'll talk a little bit about his albums. He's got 8 now. I had to make this because the latest one was not on the only other Frank Turner set. So here we go. I imagine I could probably just like remove this bottom half here, but whatever, we'll go with it. As you know, this is how I rank it. I rank it like regular grades, F through A+. S is the special rank. Basically, it's A+, but it's special for some reason. Yeah. So let's do this. And the way I did it was I made it so that I numbered the albums so they showed up in order. This is what you should do, people. This is how you should do it. Okay. Starting off, Sleep is for the Weak. I'm just going to sit it here for now. I'm not sure where exactly it's going to go. Sleep is for the Weak. Mostly acoustic. It's his first album, obviously. He had an EP before this, but we're not doing EPs. Let's just pop open this here. I'm not going to take a look at the tracks on it. We got The Real Damage, classic Frank Turner track, obviously. It's the very first track on his first album. So, Vital Signs, great song. Romantic Fatigue, A Decent Cup of Tea. Father's Day, Worst Things Happen at Sea. My Kingdom for a Horse, Back in the Day. Once We Were Anarchists. Wisdom Teeth, The Ladies of London Town, Must Try Harder, and The Ballad of Me and My Friends. It's a classic as well. Start with a classic, end with a classic. That is a good album. But they only get better. I think I'm going to keep this one at about A-. That is a great album. There's so much variation in the songs, too. Wow. Listen to me gush about Frank Turner. Love, Ire, and Song. Let's take a look at the track list. I know this one is like... I mean, it's hard to say his best album. A lot of people think it's his best album. So, I knew Proof Rock before he got famous, rather. Reasons to Not Be an Idiot, Photosynthesis, Substitute, Better Half, Love, Ire, and Song, Imperfect Tense, To Take You Home, Long Live the Queen, A Love Worth Keeping, St. Christopher's Coming Home, and Jet Lag. Jesus, that's a good album. That's an A+. These are all going to be A+. I'm sorry. God, every single song on that album is like a 10 out of 10. It's, wow. Yeah. Poetry of the Deed. Where is it? Whoops. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay. Live Fast, Die Old. Try This at Home. Dan's Song. Poetry of the Deed. Isabel. Fastest Way Back Home. Sons of Liberty. The Road. Faithful Son. Richard Devine. No one ever talks about Richard Devine. I like that song. Sunday Nights. Our Lady of the Campfire. And Journey of the Magi. Probably his weakest album. Obviously, Sleep is for the Weak had some rough production. But this album definitely had some rough production as well. From what I understand, he got his backup band during Poetry of the Deed. And yeah, things were just a little bit rough at the beginning there, and they kind of rushed the production on it. And it kind of shows. I feel like most of the songs on the album could have used just a little bit more work in development as well. Like, The Road is great. Live Fast, Die Old is great. Dan's Song is great. I think most of the other ones really needed a little bit more development time. I think this is probably a B. Yeah. Now, England Keep My Bones. My God. So, I just got a ding. Don't mind me. England Keep My Bones. This album is nearly perfect, but there's a song in the very middle. Why don't I just like pull this over here so you can see? Eulogy, amazing. Peggy Sang the Blues, I Still Believe, Rivers, I Am Disappeared. Those songs are all 10 out of 10s. But English Curse, while the song isn't a bad song by any means, it's just a very traditional melody with no music behind it. It is just him singing a very traditional melody. And it grinds the album to a halt. And afterwards it picks up and is just as good as the first half. But having English Curse just like smack dab right in the middle there, just like it puts a damper on the album. In fact, I just like don't listen to the song anymore, and when I listen to the album I skip it. And like I'm the kind of guy that when I listen to music I listen to an album and I listen to it front to back. But English Curse is one of those rare songs that I just like skip it every time. Not even because it's bad. It's not bad. It's just it doesn't fit the album to me. At least not there. It would make more sense for me if you started the album with it or ended the album with it. But this album already has Eulogy, which is the perfect start, and Glory Hallelujah, which is the perfect end. So, yeah. Redemption is one of my favorite songs of all time. I love the song. Yeah. If Ever I Stray is also one of my favorite songs of all time, and I Still Believe, I Am Disappeared, Eulogy. Like, these are songs that would probably make my top 100 songs of all time. So, yeah, let's move this back over here. So this is an A+. I don't think any of these are going to get an S rank, because I don't think any of them really had a major impact on culture or anything, or on the genre. While Frank Turner is important to me, I can recognize that he's probably not the most influential artist out there. However, I don't have the perspective of being from the UK. He may be more influential over there. I'm not entirely sure. But, I mean, he runs his own... I just absolutely lost the word. He puts on like a weekend concert called Lost Evenings, and maybe in the UK he's more influential, but I think overall worldwide, like my previous S rank in my last video was for Super Mario, and like Super Mario 1 and 3 were both S rank, and that's because they influenced the entire platforming genre, not to mention the history of Mario. I don't feel like Frank Turner's had that kind of influence. Anyway, I discovered Frank Turner with Tape Deck Heart. But it was actually Tape Deck Heart Deluxe Edition, so I'm going to... Because I never experienced Tape Deck Heart just the standard edition, so I can't really say. But I did listen to Tape Deck Heart, the Deluxe Edition, possibly over 1,000 times. This album is incredibly important to me. Perhaps saved my life. This album's fucking amazing, front to back. Even the extra, how many extra songs are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 extra songs on it, and they're perfect. I love them. God, it starts with Recovery, Losing Days, The Way I Tend to Be, Plain Sailing Weather, Good and Gone, Telltale Signs, 4 Simple Words. Oh my god. Okay, I can't even... This album is an A+ as well. Yeah. If you haven't listened to that album, what are you doing here? Positive songs for negative people. Okay, I know this album for some reason gets flack. I do not understand. This album is also near perfection to me. Like, this string of 3 albums might be the best string of 3 albums for any artist that I know and love. No, it is. It definitely is. Like, this album is incredibly good. it starts with the Angel Islington. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. And I actually skipped that song. I don't know. It's a slow start to an album that is like kind of raucous. Yeah. I guess it ends slow too, with Song for Josh. But Song for Josh is very good. Other than the very first song, Angel Islington, it's not even a bad song. I don't think Frank Turner's. Actually, I think on some of his other stuff and some of his B-sides, not great. But on his main albums, never had a bad song. But yeah, we got... So it starts with Angel Islington. Yeah. But then we got Get Better, one of the best positive feeling songs. Like, things will get better kind of songs. It's a pick-me-up. It is the best. Then also The Next Storm, also another great pick-me-up. The opening act of Spring, Glorious You, Mittens. I think this album gets flack because of Mittens for some reason. I like the song. I think it's cute. Out of Breath, really fun kind of like punkish song. Demons is great. Josephine is great, which I believe... no, it's not Josephine. It's Silent Key. So next is Love 40 Down. Good song. Silent Key is a great song, and it also shows up on his most recent album. And finally, Song for Josh. Very sad song about his friend who killed himself. And pops up in a couple other songs. Got this album. Yeah. This album is an A+ as well. Now, Be More Kind. I have it tattooed on me right there. Yeah, this album is really good too, but it's not what the other albums are. And I think it has a little bit of production problem. It's like, not that like the production's bad, but it's not, I feel it doesn't suit him as well. Some of the production, and it's a little bit like uneven. Like you get like Don't Worry, which is sort of like this jazzy kind of bluesy jazzy song. Then that's followed by 1933, which is just a flat out punk song. Then you get Little Changes, which almost sounds like stock YouTube music, but it's great and catchy and fun, and I love it. But it's like those three songs in a row. Actually, the next song is Be More Kind, which is this like very slow, beautiful, heartfelt song. And those four songs in a row are just like all so completely different. It's really cool, but I feel like there's a lot of production. They try to like paste it across all of the songs, and it doesn't really fit. Yeah. While I love the album, I love it a lot. And if I was going like ranking this on just how much I love the albums, this album would also be A+. But I think I have to sort of admit that this album isn't quite as good, while it has some of his finest songs. Like I think Don't Worry and Brave Face are two of his best songs, as well as Be More Kind. Three of his best songs are on this album. I think just like there's some issues with it being unbalanced and some production issues. And also it is a little bit of a shock to the system because the album is a lot more poppy than previously, where it was very folk punk beforehand. And there is folk and punk on this album. It is very pop centered, and it's not a bad thing. It's just like a shock to the system. Like the song Blackout, it's a song you might hear at a club, which is totally not normal for him. And it's not even a bad song either, but it's probably my least favorite song on the album. Yeah. So this is going to be, I think, an A. Me taking 5 points off. Okay, and finally, No Man's Land. So here's the thing about No Man's Land. It is great. But it just doesn't affect me. It's not for me. So the thing about No Man's Land is it's a concept album about women throughout history who have sort of been left off the historical record. and people don't talk about them enough. And the stories in this album are great. Like, the songs are also great. But what really draws me to Frank Turner and makes me love his music and makes me listen to it over and over and over again is my connection to his music. I am not a female from, like, the past. And so it sort of leaves me kind of in a lurch. While I admit the songs are actually really good, I feel weird about not feeling connected to the music. So, of course, it's not my favorite album. I've listened to it several times, but the way that I've listened to all the other ones, like, over and over and over again. Like, if I put together the amount that I listened to all of 7 of these albums, it would probably be several thousand times. Because I started in 2013, and Frank Turner was pretty much all I listened to for a solid 3 years. Yeah. That's another thing about Frank Turner, is that I have kind of a strange relationship with music, in that up to when I was like 21, 22, it was extremely important in my life. Like, music was my life. And a thing happened, and I flat out didn't listen to music at all for a year. And I stopped making music. Well, making music was like a huge part of my life. I stopped making music for almost a decade after that. And Frank Turner in 2013, well, I had started listening to music again before that. It was almost a year where I just avoided music altogether. Frank Turner is what, like, really got me back into music. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. This, we're going to put it... I mean, like, it's a really good album, but I also feel disconnected from it. So I don't know exactly how I should rank that. I might put it here at A-, because admittedly, it's a very good album. Say 85%. But I personally feel disconnected from it, which I don't know if that should really affect the ranking. I guess I kind of got to figure out, is this, like, how I feel like it should be ranked, or just how much I personally love it? I think I'm generally going with, like, how it should be ranked. However, yeah, no, actually, that seems about right. These are all flat out A+. Like, that's how I feel they should be ranked. Not just how much I love them. Those are A+ albums. Yeah. I just talked myself into it. Anyway, I guess that's it. That's all 8? 8? Yeah, 8 Frank Turner albums. How would you rank them? Did you make a video ranking them? Go ahead and do that. Link it in the comments. Or just put your ranks in the comments down below. Give me a like, a subscribe, and yeah. Check out all of the links in the description. I have lots of social media. I have other YouTube channels. I do reviews of emo and punk albums on my Christovixx channel. And I do movie reviews on another channel, and I have lots of other stuff. I make my own music. It's like emo pop punk with chiptune stuff. It's called The Video Game Crash. Anyway, check out the links in the description. I love you lots. Mwah!